Thought I would talk about the whole controversy behind the Halo Infinite graphics comparison. Now, of course, this image here is not, you know, actually accurate. It is a dramatization, but it is kind of, relevant to the whole subject matter here and the graphics and everything regarding Halo and maybe what it could look like on Xbox or PC, and how much watered down or how much more watered down will the game be on Xbox in terms of its graphical fidelity versus the PC. Now, I think there's no question about it that the PC version is going to look better. Okay, unless that version's just a straight console port, then usually they look identical even then. But the thing is the stuff that they showed yesterday. Now, I haven't rewatched the video again. I just seen it once and I was more focused on the gameplay, especially when I made my last video. But I do think at the end of the day that the game looked okay. Some people were saying it looked like a PS3 game. Well, again, it's a demo. It's a build, it's an early build of the game. So realistically, things aren't going to be quite as polished. Now, there was a statement made saying, oh, we'll upload a higher quality version, watch it at 4K 60. Well, and that's another thing. Internet streaming and video streaming online has compression anyway. Even if you see something that's marketed as 1080p 60 or whatever, and you see it on YouTube and say, well, it just doesn't look that great. It does look a lot different, when you actually play it in real life, right? On a TV or a computer monitor or whatever. It's going to look different than the stuff you're seeing on a stream. The streams are compressed. Now, just because something is in 4K 60, right? First of all, it's not really going to be true 4K, again, because of compression. But even if you up the resolution, that's still not changing some of people's problems with the models. And again, it's not going to fix pop-in. So again, that's either more of an engine or optimization bug. So again, I don't really get the statement behind, well, we'll show you some 4K 60 footage. Well, it's still going to be online, and probably at best in real life, it's going to look like 1080p 60 on a video stream. Even at the 4K stream, it's still probably just going to look like 1080p in real life. So it's still probably not going to be to what people truly expect. But not only that, guys, you got to give them a little bit of credit. They really didn't show much of the gameplay. They didn't show them traveling around, so you don't know how dense the area is. It's about 5 minutes. And I thought it had a pretty good depth perception. When you got off the ship and looked, you could see things far in the distance. Maybe not all that stuff you can actually get to, but I do think there's probably going to be a lot of that you can. So if you see something far in the distance, hey, I'm going to be able to go there. Even if it starts taking advantage of newer technologies like NVIDIA's RTX, even if it has a little bit of RTX, I think that's going to go a long way in how this game is developed. I just don't think you're going to see everything you're going to want to see or expect to see in a demo build. For example, Mortal Kombat 11, when that had its beta, it kind of looked like shit. It really did. But then when you got the final game, it looked a lot better. So again, a lot of times they don't polish this up because they know it's just a demo. I mean, they polish it up enough to where it's presentable. They polish it up enough to where it's probably got, medium textures, maybe even high textures on the characters. So, that'll look fine. But like the overall world and stuff, and again, with pop in, who knows what they have. Again, they're testing this and showing this on a PC. They claimed it's supposed to look like Xbox Series X, like this is what you can expect it to look like. Again, not like this image I'm showing you exactly, but again, for this, maybe even running at 4K 60, who knows what that's going to look like. I mean, again, would you rather have ultra textures, and just play at 1080p, or do you want 4K resolution with medium textures? I mean, I think that's really what that's going to amount to. And sorry, I had to tap the screen. But, I think that's what it's really going to amount to. what is it you're going to want for graphical fidelity? And if you want the maximum graphical fidelity, you want less pop-in, you want all that, again, you're going to want to get it on PC. There's no question. It doesn't matter how powerful a console is, right? The consoles are never going to beat PC, and that's just the facts. You know, if PC gets a bad port, then the console port's pretty well on par. If not, you know, the PC version could be worse if it's a really bad port job. But graphical fidelity speaking, it's not going to ever beat it. So for me, I never expected it to look super duper amazing. And if I want the best looking version, I'll get it on PC. But when I watched that, it still looked like fun. It still looked like I could have a lot of fun with this game. And another point I'll bring up just to finalize on this video, and that is the old Halo games, right? Halo 1, you know, Halo Combat Evolved, however you want to call it, game's considered a classic. People still play it. People still enjoy it. Yes, some of the graphics are going to be a little dated. For the time, it looked really, really good. But, you know, is it any less of a game just because the graphics aren't up to par? Which is another thing I also wanted to bring up. I did see some models and things of Halo 4 and 5, and yes, they look a little bit better than this. This does look a little janky at times, but you could easily fix this. I mean, again, this isn't the first time we've ever seen like a demo build of a game, and then the final product either looks better, or like Watch Dogs, you get it downgraded. It looks so good, oh, it can't run on the console, so we better downgrade it heavily. I don't think there's enough here to judge, to say that it's a good or a bad game just by, again, the visuals. Again, you could look at a game like Halo 1, great, classic game. Halo 2, improved visuals, but in my opinion, it had a crappier story, a crappier campaign. Now again, where that game succeeded was the multiplayer. But again, campaign, not nearly as good as the first game. Then Halo 3 I thought was pretty equal. I thought it had a good campaign and a good multiplayer. But again, does that mean, well, now Halo 3's out, so fuck Halo 1 and it's a shitty game? No, of course not. Same thing with this. And even if it had the greatest visual fidelity, you could have something like Halo 5 that has great visual fidelity, but if the campaign's no good, well, I don't care how good the game looks. And then people would just bitch about that. So again, I have at least a little bit of hope and a little bit of promise for this game. Again, you want the best looking version, buy it on PC. And that's really the bottom line. Just buy it on PC. So, if you think the Xbox version looks like crap, just buy it on PC. And if you don't like Halo, then you don't like Halo. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But it is what it is. So, that's all I got to say. Thanks for watching. May do another video on Halo again, but just had to get that whole graphics thing out of the way because, you know, it's kind of bugging me. And yes, I didn't mention that in the last video, but, you know, if I did mention that it looked good, I thought it was the gameplay. The graphics, I'd never seen Halo 4 or 5 because I didn't play them. I didn't play a 343 Industries Halo game. So, again, maybe I thought this looked good, but yes, I do think some of those things I saw in Halo 4 and 5 did look better than what they showed here. But it is an early build. So, they still have time to fix it up. Holiday 2020, that's probably going to be around November or December. Most likely probably November. So, they got plenty of time. Wait for it. See what happens. Hey, we also got the multiplayer to look forward to as well. So, thanks for